Just go to, Title 18 or Title 15 or Title 12 and look for the term persons. All right. Click on it and you'll see the definition. So I know I deal a lot with U.S. Code, Title 15 U.S. Code 1681 and 1692 when I'm dealing with individuals' debts. This is a letter I'm working on for a client right now. All right. And if you click on persons, it'll give you that definition. A trust is a person. All right. Not a natural being, but a person. So it says the straw man, an artificial public office, an entity that you represent, is created by the government and therefore subject to government statutes and regulations. This is called the straw man. It is a public office within an agent of the government. Public office. Well, what's one of the documents that, when we talk about this in this entire secure party creditor process, what's one of those documents that gets done? It's called the legal notice and demand. And if you look on the legal notice and demand, I'm just going to use the back of the redemption manual. All right, now there's a 6 series of this as well. Okay, I'll leave the link if you want to get the 6 series of the legal notice. The 6 series of the redemption manual. This company that wrote this book helped this company write the new book, and they talk about that in there. They would say, hey, let's kind of work together to make sure we're giving people the best information and value. All right. So they kind of, when the 6 series is the company that wrote this, they helped them in the 6 series. Okay. That's one thing I love about it as well too. People helping others. Hey, you're going to write a book. I write a book. Let's see if we can work together, make sure that people have the best information. So all I'm letting you know is that this is available. Not many people are aware of this book. And if you are, congratulations. If you're not, make sure you get it. The link will be in the description area. But not many people are aware of this book. They're aware of Meet Your Straw Man. They're aware of the UCC connection, maybe the 0%. Some of those, really, not say classic, but simple reads. But I'm just letting you know this is available. Okay. Again, this is not my information. Just let you know it's available. So let's see here. But I'm sorry, let's talk about the public office. Now, in the legal notice and demand, there's a section in here that says the undersigned tendering this document as a trust security party barely by fact not straw man vessel, corporate fiction, legal entity, endlingers, or transmitting utility for, by, or to the United States of America, the government, state of SPC, corporation. Furthermore, the undersigned is not a citizen within. All right, kind of tells you a certain officer of, a subject of. All right. So, but what it's telling you is that the straw man is a public office within the government. All right, and an agent within the government. This is why on a lot of the letters that we write, we say, notice to principal is the same as, notice to agent. Let me make sure I'm saying it, because I have a letter right here I'm sending out for a client. It says notice to the agent is notice to the principal. All right. So in this situation, who's the principal? The government. Who's the agent? That's straw man. Okay. The straw man is the method by which natural beings interface with the commercial world and with the government. Without using the straw man, you, the natural being, will be unable to sustain your life because you would be maliciously deprived of the ability to obtain government identification, interact commercially with others. All right. That's the reason why it's there, so that you can interact commercially. I'm going to talk about on the commercial side, like being able to make purchases with your credit. That's a commercial process. Being able to pay your bills or your quote unquote debts. That's a commercial process.
Oh man.
It says the government had to create the strawman because it can't civilly legislative for the natural being without the consent of the human being. This is because the power to tax originates from the power to create. Only the creator of a thing can tax or burden the thing it created. So the government created the straw man, it can tax it. Also, it says without the consent of the human being. Now, your birth certificate, what is the consent? Now, the thing about it is that you didn't consent, your parents did for you, or when you became naturalized, you did consent, but you didn't know what you were consenting to. All right. That birth certificate, they say, hey, you have to do this, but what your parents didn't know is what they were consenting to. Okay. So now that they consented to that, now you get tax bills. Now when you get your billing statement in the mail, You pay when you get your taxes, right? Because you're consenting to that. Remember, everything is a contract. Everything is a contract, right? Another book I'm going to suggest you get is Contract Law for Dummies, so you can understand how contracts work, right? It says the power to govern originates from the consent of the governed. Any attempt to civilly govern that does not originate from the consent of the governed, as the Declaration of Independence case, is inherently unjust. Hence, the person who is the subject of any civil law is created by the consent of the governed. All right. It says the natural being is sovereign and therefore not subject to law. And you make sure you want to make sure that you get the book and read all this. Okay. Let's go here. All right. Let's talk about a little bit of this. The guy.
That was big. That was big.
God in the Bible is the origin of the straw man. Now, I'm not looking to be religious in any way. I know everyone believes in, different things and have different names for certain deities and things of that nature. So I'm not looking to offend anyone. All right. I'm just giving you the concept. It says the concept, right? And since this land, what they call the United States of America, was built based on these biblical principles, we're going to use this. All right. So it says, Caesar didn't invent the concept of the straw man, God did. All right. I'm going to put this here. I may have to minimize this. Everything that Satan does, the government abuses of the government's abuse of the concept of the straw man for personal gain or advantage is counterfeit to God's design. In the Bible, Jesus introduced himself by saying he was in the Father and the Father in him. This is an indication of the existence of the agency of himself on a part of another. That agency is equivalent to the straw man from a legal perspective. So what did they say? What I said before? It said your straw man is an agency of the government. There's a principle. There's an agency. All right. The government is the principle. Here, God is the principle. Jesus is the agency. The government is the principle. Your straw man is the agency. Okay. The phrase "I'm in the Father and the Father in me" can't be taken physically and is taken legally. Notice that to the phrase "I do not speak on my own authority," meaning that Jesus was acting as an agent of the sovereign God and not of his own authority or free will. So your straw man is acting as an agent. Your straw man is speaking on behalf of the government, right? And where does that leave you, the natural being, out in the cold? All right, out in the cold. So it is implied. Says that the agency allows to get straw man. It is implied by the phrase "I am in him," meaning in the private corporation called the kingdom of heaven. All right, the corporation. This is amazing. Okay, so I'm going to pause right there. All right, I just want to make you aware of this information. Okay, make you aware of it so that you can go and study for yourself. But the straw man is a real thing. And where's it coming? A lot of this information that we call, what they say in the freedom community, it has biblical principles. Like the word levy, that comes from Leviticus. Levy taxes, things of that nature. So, the link to this book is going to be in the description area. If you want to become part of our community, where we talk a lot about this, showing how to apply it to yourself when it comes to debts, living in the private, when it comes to trust. All right. Feel free to do that as well too. Don't have to, but that link is going to be down below as well too. We do give complimentary calls a couple times a week, so that you can get on there and ask a few questions to kind of see what direction that you may want to go in. I'm not telling you.
Accepted for value. I always got some.
Hey y'all, what's up? What's up? Now look, check this out. Now this is my take personally, right, on discharging debt and remittance coupons, right? Now, I think everybody misinterpreted when everything is dealing with public and private. So when we looking at public and private, we think Amex is public, or we'll look at Walmart's public, right? But when you're going deeper into understanding, every corporation have their own private right on whether or not to take your use of exchange and to accept it for value, right? Because that entity won't be considered public in a sense where they can make their own discretion when trying to discharge debt or accept a negotiable instrument. If you ask me personally, what do I think is best to use a remittance coupon or try to use an instrument to discharge debt? You want to use it in the public. And when I mean in the public, I'm talking about government, court buildings, for child support, um, even restitution and anything like that. So say for instance, say if a person caught a federal case and they got caught with drugs and everything like that, and the judge sentenced them to prison, but they also set a restitution fee. They say, hey, I set this restitution fee at $2 million. Now you will try to get that restitution fee discharged because a lot of time when you're looking at court and you're looking at how certain procedures work,
Hi everybody. So I'm doing this video today. I just want to share the information that I've used with you. I want to also mention that I'm not a tax expert or a financial advisor. Take all this information with a grain of salt. This is for entertainment and informational purposes only. I don't do financial advice, anything like that. Okay, so all that out of the way, my disclaimer's out of the way. I reserve all my rights and
Next, ineffective procedure number 4, writing accepted for value language on your bills and mailing them to the IRS, expecting they will pay your bills or cancel your bills. Either theory. Some people think it's paying, some people think it's canceling or discharging. Here's an example. Well, this is an example actually of writing it on an IRS bill. But this process, I'm really talking about people writing this language in regards to any bill and sending it to the IRS. So even you have a phone bill, you have a hospital bill, and you write this type of language and you write it on the bill itself. It could be the phone bill, the medical bill, the credit card bill, and then you still mail it to the IRS even though it's not an IRS bill. Okay, now that is a process that's been around now for at least 12 years. That's went viral on the internet due to some people's YouTube videos, etc. So this is what we have to say about this. Accepting for value is a real act and can be a piece of a larger process, a legitimate technique, and can get you somewhere when doing a whole discharge procedure. It's part of the whole procedure. I have done it myself and for dozens of people successfully. The A4V document is only 1 to 2% of the actual complete discharge process. So, people have done just this on their bill and mail it to the IRS, and then they just cross their fingers for weeks or months and wait to see and try to hope that their bills get canceled. So what I'm saying is there's about 50 times more work than just this to do a discharge correctly after you're a secured party. So the two main things we will use the A4V for is to claim back and cancel one's birth certificate and or Social Security account, Social Security contract, Social Security card, which is done with the secured party creditor process. So writing accepted for the main things. So the reason I say this is you can write this on bills. You can write this on statements, invoices, bills. But the main thing that we use accepted for value for is writing it on your birth certificate and writing it on your Social Security card or a copy of your Social Security card, which is done to claim back the rights that you've given away, and to basically take control and claim that that is your private property, and that you are canceling the adhesion contracts and implied contracts and accounts that have been derivatives from that original registration of that document, which was done without your consent. And so it has to be done in conjunction with your UCC filing, and the language on your UCC filing stating on public record that you're canceling the birth certificate registration contract retroactively for fraud. So that's part of the secured party creditor process, what we call the secured party creditor process, quote unquote. It's a lot more than just becoming a secured party creditor. It's obtaining your sovereignty. It's setting yourself up to enable yourself to discharge debts. It's reserving your unalienable common law rights, similar to the rights in like the Bill of Rights and the Constitution. It's creating a private trust. It's protecting your assets. It's teaching you how to operate a private trust, or a series of them. So what we call the secure party creditor process does all those things, plus makes you, the living man or woman, a secured party and a priority lien holder over your all caps public trust name. So, just FYI, we call it secure party creditor process, but it does about those 6 or 7 things that I just mentioned. One of them being making you a secure party creditor, the other 5 of them being not related. They're somewhat related, but they're separate. Secondly, after you are a secure party creditor, have done the whole secure party creditor process, doing all those things, all those 6 or 7 things I just mentioned, we then would A for V except for value court documents in a court case, statements or an invoice for a private loan or a hospital bill, credit card bill of a civil nature, in which there's no court action present. Or if you had, like I said, even if it was a civil matter and you got a summons and complaint, you can accept for value the summons and complaint. This whole money order situation is really also like combining A4V and money order, but I don't think we're gonna. Okay, we do cover the money order section. So commonly, when you see on the internet, people write this across their bill, and then they fill out the money order section, and they write all sorts of money order ask type stuff to convert the payment voucher into a money order. Accepted for value is used to claim ownership over a document once you have your common law copyright over your name, which is accomplished in the secure party creditor process. Writing accepted for value across the document is used as part of an overall process to take away the legal effect of the demand or order being sent to you. So again, accepted for value takes away and nullifies the legal effect, and is effective when you have a whole bunch of things set up. But if you're at that stage and ready to do it, what you're doing is taking away the legal effect of the statement being sent to you. So does that, in a sense, discharge the obligation? Possibly, possibly not. If you had 10 different statements and invoices and you only accepted for value one of them, would that alone, that might invalidate that document, but it might not invalidate the 9 other documents that that still, still by themselves not being accepted for value do not invalidate the total account. So what I'm saying is there's a way of looking at it where, okay, I'm canceling this statement, but what if there's another statement sent before or after with a slightly different balance due on a different date? So really what you need to do is accept for value all of the documents related to that account that you've ever received from that company. And if you want to go a step further, the whole original statement, the whole original contract that created it. The whole contract that created the obligation and all the statements you ever gotten, possibly, right? So that's in a sense just trying to give you the mindset of how this can be used, which being the case of taking away the legal effect of the document or all the documents that you receive from this this company, or it's a court case, and you've done this on every page of the complaint and the summons in a lawsuit. If you took away the legal effect of the document, there is no need to pay or create any other fake money order below, as in this visual example below, in the process that's being used by many people. So some people say, oh, you accept for value, blah, blah, blah. Then they don't explain what it is. And then they say, now you got to create a money order because you have to pay the bill. Well, why are you paying the bill if you've taken away the legal effect of it, and the whole account, your position is the whole account doesn't exist. So why would you then claim that it does exist and make a money order and say pay the order of, and then why would you say pay the order of? Okay, even though this is an IRS bill, I should have used like a phone bill or a hospital bill. But even if this was a hospital bill, what people are teaching people to do for the last 12 years is to write pay to the order of United States Treasury in the amount of whatever the bill is. So I don't know why they're saying pay to the order of United States Treasury. I don't know why they wouldn't just say pay to the order of blah blah blah, like medical hospital. But either way, people are writing pay to the order of United States Treasury because that's what they're copying from people on the internet. And the bottom line is these processes are not working, and they don't work. And people have done them and nothing happens, and they don't work. So there is some misinformation out there that you can simply write the A4V language on a statement and mail the payment and write money order. Fill out the bottom money order section below and send it to the Internal Revenue Service at Stop 4440 in Ogden, Utah, and it will pay the debt, quote unquote, which doesn't make any logical sense for a number of reasons. But what's important is not me spending another 5 pages here sharing with you why the process doesn't logically make sense. What's important is to simply report that it doesn't work at all, so that you get the truth and don't have to get your hopes up, and also that you don't make any decisions just yet about not paying certain bills and expecting that the IRS will pay your bills if you send them a fake money order. We believe that, for whatever reason, this simplistic A4V combination of money order process is just pure misinformation or false information. I'm not saying the people sharing with it are all bad people. They may actually believe in it, believe it works, whatever. But whatever the reason, this, from my research, from my team's research, we believe is ineffective and will not result in any success when duplicated. It will categorically not be effective in helping to pay or discharge a bill when done by itself. So therefore you can make decisions that there is a debate. Some people, I guess, might still believe it works. I don't believe it works, so you can make your own decisions. Some people in the past have found some bills spontaneously forgiven or eliminated due to various reasons, very common with a second mortgage on a home, as there's a tax benefit to forgiveness of a debt, a 1099-C being issued, and the company receiving a tax credit and actually making a profit, as well as a plethora of other reasons. They rather close your account, mark 0 instead of paying lawyers and future debt collectors to keep paying for mail and sending you mail, or paying lawyers to examine your documents to respond to you. So sometimes they just cancel out and say, based on our algorithm, we don't think this person's ever going to pay. Let's not send him mail every 3 months for the rest of his life. Let's just cancel it so that we can close down our accounts, and it'll be better for our company overall. Think about it. If the account or bill is only $300, why would a company pay $400 for 1 hour of the company's in-house attorney? Or why would they subcontract out to a lawyer from a law firm if the bill is only $300? So obviously they're not going to spend more than $300 or even close to $300 trying to collect $300. There is another reason that small bills and sometimes some citations or tickets will just be eliminated. If the cost of even reviewing how to respond to your letter is more than the bill itself, then it sometimes will just be canceled just to save the company time or money. This does not mean, though, that your process was correct or what caused the debt to be eliminated will work for other people. It's just coincidence. A careful examination of many similar accounts with various balances, including much larger ones, need to be done and with more numbers of people in order to draw conclusions. And this is what UCL has been doing since 2010. Yeah. For most people wanting less stress or problems in their life, the least amount of work comes when you actually just pay. If it's a small bill, if you just pay the small recurring normal bills, it actually is a lot less stress and a lot work than trying all sorts of different things. Sometimes, again, I'm not trying to make a blanket statement for everybody. I'm just saying for normal people that want less stress in their life and can't have the heavy workload of reading and studying and understanding a whole ton of law information. Sometimes the least amount of work is just to pay your small bills. The reason is because your time and energy payoff versus the result of how that makes your life better is actually better for you in what your time is worth. To just pay the bill than to try to figure out how to get rid of the bill and it not work. So does your effort and does your time pay off for you if it's only a small bill? Sometimes you can even just call the hospital if it's a hospital bill, and you can or if it's an unpaid credit card bill and you haven't paid the credit card company in a year. Sometimes you can just call them and negotiate with them and say, what if I pay, I owe you $3,000. What if I pay you $1,500? And about a 2-minute phone call saves you $1,500. So now, if you have a $100,000 unpaid student loan, if you have, you owe $5 million due to a judgment, if you have a crazy ex-spouse trying to unfairly take as much money and custody of your children as they possibly can in a bitter divorce dispute, those are different scenarios, right? That's a different scenario, If it would take you your whole life to pay a debt back or a huge portion of it thereof, where it's something worth fighting, that's a completely different story than a $125 bill. Now, the next thing to consider here is that, especially on these like recurring bills for services that you want to keep, like you want to keep your if you want to keep your phone bill with Verizon or whatever, I've seen people discharge or attempt to discharge their Verizon bills. Now, whether or not they actually got discharged through this process or whether the company just saw this and said, and they have like a protocol where if people try to send this, they just close their accounts down anyway. I think that's what happened, but the individuals that I followed that sent this to the phone company, yeah, the account was closed, but they lost their phone number, they lost their account, and they lost the ability to get service with that phone company, I believe forever, or maybe for a long number of years. And they basically blacklisted you. So, if you want to be in good standing with the companies, you want to pay them for their services. If you try to discharge something, the company does not have to do business with you, or can and will.
Got no
close your
problem
account
paying
and
somebody
risk
for
not doing
somebody
business with you forever,
or a company for
potentially.
doing something.
On the federal debts, if you discharge a government debt, forget about ever receiving a federal loan or a grant from them ever again, as you will be blacklisted. Although a lot of people that doesn't really faze them anyway, and that's fine. A lot of people I talk to are not looking to get another federal loan. But I'm just saying, if you're young and that's a consideration for you, and you may want to get other federal loans, federal backed student loans, things like that. Just look at the cost benefit. If you have a government debt and it's huge, it will, for most people, probably be worth it. But if it's small and you are reasonably close and capable of paying it off anyway, you might want to go back to school and get a big student loan, and that's what you want to do. Then just consider that. In a nutshell, you can't bite the hand that feeds you. If you discharge your phone bill with your phone company, they don't have to provide services to you anymore. If you discharge a federal government debt, they don't have to provide services to you anymore. The other reason that this average working American the average working American trying to financially survive may just be in your interest to just pay your recurring normal bills, electric, water, cable, phone, is that you want to maintain a good credit rating. Your credit report reflects if you pay your bills on time and if banks or others should do business with you on attractive and favorable terms. Discharging or canceling debts instead of paying them can reflect poorly on your credit report for a period of time or forever. Although our company can do it in a way where your credit is cleaned, it still is better for you to have the accounts open. As many accounts open that you're paying on gives you a better credit rating, if credit rating is important to you. I'm just throwing this out there. I'm not saying that this is what you need to focus and be concerned about. I'm just saying if having the best credit rating possible is important to you. Although we can cancel certain debts and keep or make your credit good again, um, it's always going to be better if you're paying on the bills and you have the accounts open. Generally speaking, like 90% of the time. I mean, there's a lot of different factors and scenarios we'd have to look at, but 80-90% of the time, if you keep paying monthly payments on the bills, normally it keeps your credit high. So if you're at a position where you're looking to use your credit over the next couple of years to buy a home or to finance a car or to finance a business or something like that, don't just jump on to.
By the way, financing
canceling
cars,
debts and
it's illegal to
possibly
put a
hurting your
down
credit
payment.
report. Most will want a good credit rating to buy a home
Financing.
one day with a low down
Learn
payment,
consumer credit
modifying
laws.
the terms of an existing loan, like lowering or modifying your mortgage payment, or getting approved for a lease or an auto loan. So these are things to seriously consider if you're in a position of possibly needing the best possible credit.
And if you have
Especially
financed a
with
car,
the timing,
and
I'm
you
not
did pay a
saying
down
don't
payment,
discharge the bills ever.
there's ways you can get that money
Look at
back
the timing and look at what's the most
and get all the
important.
money you paid for your car back.
If those items are less important to you than
And keep the car.
discharging the enormous amount of debt hanging over your head, and you care less about your credit at this time, and you are willing to deal with the prospects of having to slowly rebuild your credit back up if your credit is damaged, then contact us,
Interesting
talk
stuff.
it out, and we'll hopefully give you some guidance on making the best decision for you. We'll let you know if we can
The secured party creditor
essentially guarantee a
in the
discharge
process of doing that
for
right
that
now.
particular type of situation. Again,
Birth
we have to.
certificate back.
We're very particular to tell you if we're confident that it will work, because certain things are working, certain things are not working, and those things can change. So, please contact us if you believe that we're the best source of information to give you answers in that area, to give you honest answers in that area. And again, you'll need to be a secure party creditor as well. Otherwise, we are not capable of, giving you a process with an expectation of a successful discharge. It's just not what we've seen. It's not what we've experienced. It's not what we believe. And maybe there's others out there that do things differently. But from us, you need to have that whole SPC process. We have an entire page on our website dedicated to educating people about the wrong and right ways to use accepted for value. If you just go to our website,
PC process.
on the right-hand side, scroll down and click on the accepted for value doesn't work link. We explain the misconceptions of why it doesn't work the way people believe what it is and the way people believe it works. And we kind of explain that. Yes, I'll point it out and show it to you. Just zoomed out a little. On the right-hand side, usually we have this little A4V. Doesn't work. Read why here. Guy scratching his head. Sometimes we have a different logo. We rotate the logo. Why doesn't my A5A work? So this was posted in December 2016. It's been up here. It's been up here for years. You can read it. It's a nice little FAQ, and there's also an audio link. You can download the reading of this audio link if you don't want to read it. You just want to close your eyes and lay on the couch and hear me reading it. Then you can.
I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna learn all this.
You can learn more of
They're not gonna have power over me.
Exclusively about. Okay, there's the link. And then you
Anybody
see
follow
the
and
audio
stick with me,
lessons
I'm gonna
section of
start
our
streaming
website,
all
and
the
then
times I go
further
in with this.
lessons, audio lessons.
Get this
And we've got
freedom.
some other lessons here related to the same topic. Discharging and all sorts of different things. Understanding credit scores. So on that little tangent there, you can little tangent.
He always
Oh,
put it down.
shoot. What's going on Facebook? Oh, not Facebook, YouTube. Man, I've been busy just really fine tuning this
Got to
process.
say.
Okay, so before we get started, All right, just let you know, I'm not a financial
This
planner,
knowledge,
I'm not a
this
financial
game.
advisor, I'm not an attorney, a tax professional. The information I'm sharing is just for
Get
informational
the notebooks.
and educational purposes only. Okay, and it's just a culmination of things I've learned, things I'm reading. What's my newest book? Oh man, I had it out. I got so much stuff everywhere. Oh, here it is. Commercial
Notebooks
Law
out, y'all.
Applies. Get it today. Today. This book is amazing. A lot of things I'm learning from individuals or videos I've watched on YouTube or what have you come from this book. As a matter
Always
of
got my
fact, one
notebook
of the
ready.
affidavits I have is word for word from this book. All right. So I say all that to say that none of this information is new. It's just new to you, new to us. But there are people who have learned how to explain it. That's the key. How to explain it and how to transfer it to documents, right? I'm sending out documents right now that I have going out, but it's how do you explain it and transfer to a document so that when you send it, it's effective when you send it. Okay, that's what I'm learning. So what the documents are, what the information is, a lot of people are sharing that. It's how to explain it in terms that you can understand, and then how to transfer it to the document or create a document that is going to be effective for you after you send it, certified mail with return receipt, all that kind of stuff. Okay, that's what the key is. So what helps you in this is getting the information. And so what I'm going to do really quickly is kind of share with you some steps to follow. And I'm fine tuning this process. I'm really fine tuning this process. I'm like this close to another remedy. All right. They got the documents. We had a phone conversation and they had nothing for me. So I know I'm this close to that, and I will keep you all posted. Okay. So here we go. Here's some things that I'm suggesting. Now, this is not the way. This is just a way. I'm just giving you some suggestions. You can take them or not. Okay. Always make sure you read. Always make sure you do your research. But I am continuing to learn. At the time this video is being made, track season's over until we start summer track. So I got like 2 or 3 weeks to really start diving into this information and understanding what it is, so that we can break it down for it to be simple. Now, a lot of things I'm going to talk about, I'm going to put the links to individuals that I have watched, and they can explain it better than me. Okay, so I don't claim to know everything. I don't claim to be a guru. None of that. So let's get into it. So step 1, become a secure party creditor. Okay, I'm just going to tell you right now, become one. All right, and inside of our DIY program, I show you how to fill out all the paperwork. Okay, now if you find it somewhere else, free or better than I can do it, go for it. Go for it. All right, I'm just an individual that took all this information, put it into one place where you can come get it and make myself available to help you in the process. All right. Step 2, authenticate your certificate of live birth. Now, here's some things about this. If you have a birth certificate, there's a difference between a birth certificate and certificate of live birth. Go look it up.
Long form.
Some of this stuff you're going to have to start learning on your
Live
own.
birth, long form.
But the thing about it is getting it authenticated, and mine is authenticated. Just came back. All right, my birth certificate is authenticated with the state of Ohio, and it's on its way to. I'm going to send this out for federal. All right, so I know a lot of people say, well, we need some proof.
See?
Here it is.
Waiting for mine to come back with that stamp right now.
Authenticated, okay? And what that does, it starts to separate you from these two processes start to separate you from your straw man. Well, coach, what's a straw man? Read the book. This is not
book.
everything.
Great book.
It just gives you the
Short
foundation.
book.
Read the book,
All
and you'll
book,
start to
$5 on
learn
Amazon.
what your straw man is. Not who it is, but what it is, okay? So these two processes are going to start to separate the living human from the straw man, because when you're
Like 85
born,
pages.
you are a living person. When your birth certificate and social security number are created, you become a legal fiction or a legal personality, okay, with the United States of America, Inc. And so everything with the United States of America, Inc. is talking to your straw man. Okay, but what they want you to believe is that you are your straw man. Okay, so this starts to separate it.
Your
So
natural
I'm gonna have
being.
some videos in the description area that you can go watch and learn more about.
I get a copy of
this
Black
process,
Law's
okay?
dictionary too.
So buy the books and start studying. Get the books. Get the books. Start studying. Okay. I'm always getting a book in your face.
Got
Always
any
getting a book
questions?
in your
Just
face.
put it
Oh
in
my
the
gosh.
chat.
This right here. Okay. Let me show you how powerful this is. I
Figuring
should
out
have had
like
all this stuff
3
ready.
different things.
Where are my books? I'm always reading and leaving my books somewhere, and it makes me mad. Okay, here we go. I have my books everywhere. So on the back of the UCC connection is the 10 maxims
Got that one.
of
$5
the commercial
as
law.
well on Amazon.
Okay? David Robinson wrote this. In this book, he has the 10 maxims of the law, but he breaks it down, what each one means. Ooh, this is some powerful stuff. So, number 4 says, truth is expressed in the form of an affidavit. Right here, truth is expressed in the form of an affidavit, and it explains. It says, in commerce, an affidavit must accompany and underlay
I'm about to discharge my
foundation
car.
of any commercial
Or sign that
transaction. Everything we do
contract.
is commercial. Everything. Why? I mean, how do we know this?
Commercial.
Well, do you need a license to fish? No, you don't. You just go to the water and fish. As a human, right? Before all this was created, before the United States was created, when it was just the natives here, they would go to the lake and just fish, or however they did it. Throw the cast.
Now you need a
or
license
throw
for
the net
everything.
and fish, right? But what makes it commercial?
Illegal.
The fishing license.
Or unlawful.
The
Unlawful.
fishing license, okay? Do you need a driver's license to drive? No. All you need to do is have someone teach you how to drive. What makes it commercial? The driver's license, okay? Do you need a marriage certificate to get married? No, you don't. You find a woman, you find a man, hey, we're going to do this. We're going to have some kids, we're going to raise a family, let's do it. Jump the broom, boom. But what makes it commercial? The marriage license. So, since all that is commercial, in which we call worthless securities, everything's commercial. Everything's commercial, everything's commercial, okay? So, here we go. All right? Please excuse the dog. So, buy the books, start studying. Then step 4A is that you want to begin the coupon payment process. So, I know you're like, Coach, I'm not a secure party creditor. My birth certificate is not authenticated. If you want to wait. Okay, if you want to wait, or just start. Just let them know. Hey, the jig is up. The jig is up. I am
The
on
jig
you.
is
This
up.
is why accounts get closed.
On the ass.
This is why you get letters back, right? You get letters back that say, we are in receipt of your documentation you forwarded regarding your account. The documents you sent are not valid and they'll release you from your obligation, right? This is why you get these things, because they're trying to scare you into not moving forward, okay? So just start the coupon, and you can either wait till you're secure party creditor till you get that documentation, or that you're authenticated and then move forward, or just move forward. All right. What I tell a lot of my clients is that just do it, just send it, and then we'll worry about the remedy later. We'll not the remedy later, but we'll work on the remedy after that. Okay. Step 4B is within the coupon process, e-file a 1099-A with the company you're looking to pay off. Okay. So inside of DIY, I'm showing you how to do this, how to do the coupon process, how to file a 1099-A, and then the next steps after that. I'm showing you how to do all of that in there. Okay. Step 5, follow the conditional acceptance process.
Hey.
Now, with the coupon payment process along with the e-file process, there may become a point where you have to do the conditional acceptance. All right, because it's like you have the coupon process, you have the e-file, and they kind of pinpoint in the conditional acceptance if remedy is not created from that. Okay, and then step 6 is place a commercial lien on the company. All right, there's something called a commercial lien. All right, and it talks about it here inside of the book. what a commercial lien is. Let me see, page 27, and how to do this. Okay, the commercial lien. You can place a lien against anyone, and the great thing about it is that there's some individuals out there on the internet talking about how to do a lien, how to contract with the U.S. Treasury, and then allowing that company to deal with that. So is all this going to be? All of this is either is or going to be inside the DIY program. We're going to walk you through every step. You get unlimited lifetime access to this information. Okay, and as we add to it, you will never be charged more. You will never be asked to do anything else. Okay, we're starting to do Saturday trainings, where every Saturday we're going to do a training from 12 to whatever, where we're going over this information. You get to ask questions. All right, it's gonna be so robust. But the most important thing is that you're gonna be able to have access to someone that you're gonna be able to see in the face and say, hey, what do we do from here on out? And again, I don't claim to be a guru. I don't claim to know everything. I'm just a face to say, hey, I'm here in the same process you're in, and I'm willing to help you in the process. Okay. So these are some steps I suggest you take. All right. How to become a secure party creditor, how to authenticate your birth certificate. That's all inside the DIY program. Listen, get it. Get the program. Get the program, and everything's going to be in there. I also added, let me make this bigger. Okay. I also added our credit restoration program and our EWS program in there as well too. And then any other DIYs that we have is going to be in there as well too. We also might do some a la carte things. Maybe if you're secure in certain areas, but maybe not secure in others, we're gonna do some a la carte things that you can just buy it in pieces. But we're all in this fight together, right? We are all in this fight together. I got my embosser that has the let me see what this is on here. I got my embosser that has the debtor via birth certificate, secure party creditor in the embosser. So when I'm sending my letters out, they get embossed with a gold. Can I open this up? There we go. They get embossed with a gold. All right, a gold sticker. I rivet all my letters. So it's a process. You know, when you're fighting for your freedom, it's a process.
That man goes in.
It's going to take time to learn all of this. So be patient. Be patient with yourself. Give yourself time. Okay, I know we want these debts gone right now. I know we want to buy the house right now. I know we want to buy the car right now. I know we want to be free, but you have to give yourself time. You have to unlearn what you've learned and relearn something new. Unlearn and relearn, right? They don't give you these books in college, okay?
Facts, they don't.
Information, we're getting deeper into this information, and I want to make sure you all get what you need. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit today about the UCC.
Trying to be secure party creditors out here. We're trying to get free from this system.
Now this is for just educational purposes only.
Trying to be a child of the state.
I know there's a lot of information out there. Yes, I do. This rabbit hole goes really, really, really deep. All right. So make sure you do your research. Make sure you look up the information. Make sure you buy the books. Okay. Where are my books? I'll talk a lot about the UCC connection. Okay. Even get the UCC code. I'm getting ready to
by my bed.
The UCC code book. So I know there's a lot of information out here. I know there's a lot of people who share information. And
this book right here.
I'm just wanting just to kind of introduce it to you, so that you can say, okay, this is a process that's out there. All right, so I am doing this myself. Let me cover my address.
Stop paying taxes.
Mine, get ready to go to
but information's in here.
Secretary of State. All right, I got mine filled out in here. Of course, I send everything by certified mail, of course, so I can follow it. I'm also going to put a return receipt on the back as well. Okay, so do your research. I'm just going to talk a little bit about this information. I have a template and a video I go over with all this written out inside of the DIY program, okay? But I just want to introduce this to you because this is how you become a secure party. When you become a secure party, what you're doing is creating a contract with yourself to protect your assets, right? Like your house, your car, things that you have purchased to protect your assets. And so that's what this process does. Okay. Now you can put a lien against your
To make
own
them actually
assets as
yours, so when
well.
you die,
could do,
government can't get involved in
$500,000, $1 million,
probates and all
$5
that.
million. You don't want to go anything higher than that. You want to stay below the radar. Okay?
Generational wealth information.
So now make sure before you put a lien on anything that is paid off. So like if you try to put a lien against your house is not paid off, if someone wants to put a lien against your house, then your lien becomes second position. Their lien becomes first, yours becomes second. And of course, that lien has to be paid off before any other money is paid out. Okay. So, but there's a couple of things I want to talk about on here is the information between the debtor and the secured party. All right. Now I'll talk more about this more in my DIY program. You can go get it. The template will be completely filled out. Even the information I put here in the box will be in there. I'll have the full template minus my personal information that you can use. Okay. Now you're asking, well, Coach, how'd you learn this stuff? I researched, I looked it up. I found people. I said, okay, how do you do this? And I did the research. Okay. And I was like, okay. And then, somebody I knew personally said, hey, I saw you talking about this. I did it. Here's what I have. And, we went over it. So now I'm sharing with you. Okay. So the difference is what you put as a secure party's name and as the debtor. All right. Now, secure party, you want to put your information. All right. You are the secure party. So you want to type it in like this. You want to type in : last. All right. First hyphen. Okay. And then you want to type in first hyphen and then middle. Okay. That's how you want to put it. Now, if you have any suffixes, you put that in there as well. Now, as far as the mailing address goes, you want to put your address and you want to put the city, and then the state you want to type all the way out. So since I live in Georgia, you want to type this out. Now, the thing about it is that to get that to fit in there, you're going to have to find something that, find a program that adjusts PDFs, okay? I have this.
I guess if you just put the initials,
like PDF
that's
filler, PDFfiller.com.
not the actual
That's
land
you can
of the
upload
state.
the
It's
PDFs in
the
there and adjust it
document
however you
version,
want to.
Strawman
But you
version
want
of the
state
state.
to be written out full, and then you want the postal code to be in brackets. Okay.
Brackets.
And the country is USA. All right. So, but you want to put the state in here, but you want to be typed out. PDFfiller.com is a great service. I think it's like $20 a month. Or if you have you know how to do Adobe, adjust Adobe as well. But there are a lot of PDF adjustment programs out there that can help you to adjust PDFs. All right. So that's how you want to do this part. Now, up here, the debtor is your straw man. Okay. That is your name in all caps. So it will be first, middle, and then last. And that's the organization. Now, there's some things you want to type after this. I know one of them is like non-belligerent. Okay. And there's like two other things that you want to type on there as well too, along with your name. And then your mailing address is your address in all caps. All right. Your city in all caps, state in all caps. Everything is in all caps when you're doing it. Well, you can't do numbers in all caps. Okay. But you are doing a contract against yourself, but actually doing it against your straw man. Okay. And so that's how you become a secure party. And there's a way you fill this information here at the top, but that's going to be inside the program. But I just wanted to introduce this to you because when you become a secure party, it really kind of opens up a lot of things for you. You have banker-like power, right? You have banker-like power. And another thing that you want to do is
banker-like power.
If you don't have, it has to do with your birth certificate. What's my birth certificate? It's right here. I'm getting ready to authenticate my birth certificate as well. But your birth certificate, you will want to have a certificate of live birth, not a birth certificate. They're two separate things. So one is called certificate of live birth, which I do have. My birth certificate says certificate of live birth. you know, because I was born back in the 1700s, okay. And then there's one called your birth certificate, okay. And if you just have a birth certificate, you definitely want to make sure you get that authenticated. And I'll make a video about that as well too, with the letter that you can use to get authenticated in whatever state you were born in. Because, you know, I live in Georgia now, but I was born in Ohio. So you want to make sure you get that authenticated in the state that you were born in if you just have a birth certificate instead of a certificate of live birth. And you're like, well, coach, what's the difference? Look it up. Look up what the difference is, okay? The greatest thing about this process is doing the research, right? Looking it up, learning, reading, getting educated, you know, because I was like that at first. I want to know every little thing. How do you do this? What I say after that? What they told me no. What do I do now? And I wasn't getting anywhere because I wasn't doing the research myself. When I started to do the research myself and started looking for the information and focusing on the information, that's when more information came to me, because information is like, okay, you want more of me. All right, that's just how energy flows. Whatever you focus on grows. But if you're just focusing on getting a quick hitter or hoping somebody tells you everything, it won't allow you to grow. All right. So I'm just one of those individuals who is finding this information and willing to share it and willing to give it to you and willing to say, hey, this is how you do it. This is how you become free. So the full template is going to be in the program. It's going to be how to become a secure party in there and how to file this, especially the information you put in here. This was the most challenging part for me. Like, how do you do this down here? And what does all this mean down here? And so I have that inside of there. And then once you get that filled out, you print it, and then you send it to the Secretary of State of whatever state you live in. And then to get your birth certificate authenticated, you do the Secretary of State of the state that you were born in. Okay. So I'm gonna do a video on that as well too. And I think on that video, I may give you the template in the description area. Okay. So Coach MT, just want to make sure I got this out to you. Again, do your research. And
UCC1.
I know there's a lot of information out there. I know that the information goes in here may be different than what you saw somewhere else or what you have. I know the information going
That's
up
where
here
we be learning
may be different. What goes here, I'm just
it already has UCC1 up there.
Way, or it might be the way. Okay, I know there's a lot.
It knows what we're doing. I actually gotta run. Thanks for hanging. Hope this piqued a little bit of your interest and gave you some stuff to look into. UCC1, Redemption Manual, you know, your Strawman. Get to this freedom. Alright, y'all, have a good night.